The year is 217 BC. The world is on the brink of change, and the Italian peninsula stands at the heart of a gathering storm. Rome, the mighty republic, is about to face one of its greatest threats, a threat that will test its very foundations. A storm is brewing over Italy, and its name is Hannibal Barca. His reputation as a military genius precedes him, and his very presence sends shivers through the Roman heartland. Hannibal, sworn enemy of Rome, has achieved the unthinkable. He has marched his diverse army, war elephants and all, across the treacherous snow-capped Alps into the heart of Italy. The journey alone is a feat of endurance and leadership, earning him the awe and fear of friend and foe alike. He's already crushed Roman legions at Trebia and Ticinus, leaving Rome reeling from humiliating defeats. The once invincible Roman army now finds itself outmaneuvered and outclassed on its own soil. The Senate is panicked, the people are gripped by fear. Whispers of disaster spread through the city and the air is thick with anxiety. Rome's leaders scramble to respond, desperate to restore order and confidence. How could Rome, the center of civilization, be outmaneuvered on its own soil? The generals pore over maps, searching for answers, but Hannibal's tactics are unlike anything they've faced before. Rome's answer: elect new consuls, hoping fresh leadership will turn the tide. The fate of the Republic now rests on their shoulders. One is Gaius Flaminius, a bold, impatient leader determined to restore Roman honor. He is known for his fiery spirit and unyielding resolve. Eager to prove himself on the battlefield, Flaminius gathers his legions, eager for a decisive battle to end the Carthaginian threat once and for all. The soldiers steel themselves for what lies ahead, their hopes pinned on their commander's courage. But Hannibal is no ordinary foe. He is a master of deception, a commander who understands not just the art of war, but the psychology of his enemies. He understands the Roman craving for open, honorable combat, and plans to use it against them. Every move he makes is calculated to exploit Roman pride and impatience. As Hannibal ravages Etruria, he taunts Flaminius, luring him forward with every burning village. The countryside is left in ruins, a grim message to Rome that no place is safe. Each act of destruction is a calculated provocation, designed to draw the Romans into a trap. Hannibal's strategy is as ruthless as it is brilliant, forcing Flaminius to act on emotion rather than reason. The stage is set for a legendary ambush, the Battle of Lake Trasimene. The landscape itself will become a weapon in Hannibal's hands, and the fate of thousands will be decided by what happens next. This will not be a fair fight, but a lesson in terrain, intelligence, and psychological warfare. The Romans are about to learn that courage alone is not enough to win a war. What happens next will haunt Rome for generations. The memory of this disaster will echo through history, a stark reminder of the price of pride and the genius of Hannibal Barca. To truly grasp Hannibal's ingenious plan, you must first picture the ground itself, an environment shaped by both nature and time, setting the stage for one of history's most famous ambushes. On one side, the vast expanse of Lake Trasimene forms a natural, impassable barrier, its waters stretching out and preventing any easy escape. On the other, steep, densely wooded hills rise abruptly, their slopes thick with trees and underbrush, making movement difficult and concealment easy. Between these two obstacles, a single narrow road snakes precariously along the shoreline, a slender ribbon of earth squeezed tightly between water and hillside. For any army, this is a perfect bottleneck, a place where movement is restricted and options are few. Hannibal, ever the master tactician, sees not just a path, but a deadly trap, a killing box where an entire army can be lured in, surrounded and destroyed, with no hope of retreat or reinforcement. The defile's entrance and exit are both tightly constricted, hemming in any force that dares to march through. Once inside, there is no room to maneuver, no space to deploy in battle formation, and no easy way out. Adding to the danger, the area is notorious for its thick morning fog. Each dawn, a heavy mist rolls off the lake, blanketing the land and reducing visibility to almost nothing. This natural phenomenon turns the landscape into a world of shadows and uncertainty. Hannibal plans to use this fog as a perfect veil, hiding thousands of his seasoned troops in the wooded hills above the road. Concealed by the mist and the trees, his men wait in silence, ready to strike. The Romans, led by the confident but unsuspecting Flaminius, will march blindly through the mist, their vision obscured, their senses dulled, completely oblivious to the danger lurking just above them. Here, geography and weather combine to create the perfect ambush site, a deadly convergence of land, water, and climate, all working in Hannibal's favor. All Hannibal needs now is for Flaminius to take the bait, to lead his army into the jaws of the trap without suspecting a thing. The trap is set, thousands of lives hang in the balance, and the fate of a Roman army will soon be decided in the misty defile of Lake Trasimene. With the killing ground chosen, Hannibal arranges his forces with surgical precision, every move calculated to exploit the terrain and the enemy's expectations. He knows that victory depends not just on strength, but on cunning and timing. At the defile's eastern end, he stations his veteran Spanish and African infantry, battle-hardened and disciplined, to block the Roman advance. These troops are the backbone of his army, ready to hold firm against the coming onslaught. Along the rugged hillsides, Hannibal conceals his fierce Gallic warriors, their hearts burning for revenge after years of Roman oppression. Nearby, his swift cavalry and nimble light troops wait at the western entrance, poised to strike at the perfect moment. Their hidden presence is a silent threat, unseen but deadly. Each unit has a crucial role. Some are tasked to block the Roman escape, others to strike from the flanks, and still more to seal the trap shut. The entire army is a living mechanism, each part essential to the coming ambush. To deceive the Roman commander Flaminius, Hannibal orders dozens of campfires to be lit far to the east, their flickering lights suggesting a retreating army. The smoke drifts across the landscape, a carefully crafted illusion to lure the Romans into a false sense of security. The Romans, completely fooled by the ruse, break camp at dawn. Convinced that Hannibal is fleeing, they march forward eagerly, unaware that they are being drawn into a deadly trap. Their confidence blinds them to the danger lurking in the misty hills. On the night before battle, tens of thousands of Carthaginian soldiers move silently into position, their footsteps muffled by the thick fog and darkness. The air is tense with anticipation as they take up their hidden posts, every man knowing the importance of silence and discipline. As dawn breaks, the hidden army lies in wait, invisible predators perched above the empty road. The mist clings to the hillsides, masking their presence as they watch the Roman column approach, hearts pounding in the quiet before the storm. The unsuspecting Romans march along the narrow lakeside road, their ranks stretched and vulnerable, completely unaware that they are about to walk straight into the jaws of Hannibal's ambush. From his vantage point, Hannibal surveys the battlefield with a satisfied expression. His masterpiece of deception is ready, every detail in place for the trap to spring shut. The tension is electric. In these final moments before battle, soldiers grip their weapons, poised to erupt from hiding. The massacre is moments away, and history is about to be written in blood and fire. Dawn, June 21st. Thick fog blankets the defile as Flaminius, impatient and overconfident, orders his army forward. Ignoring warnings and skipping reconnaissance, he believes Hannibal is on the run. The Roman army, forced into a long, thin column, loses its tactical strength. No scouts are sent ahead. The hills above teem with hidden enemies. The column stretches for kilometers, vulnerable and blind. The vanguard focuses on catching Hannibal, the rest simply march, unaware of the peril. As the last Roman enters the pass, the trap is full. 30,000 men are now boxed in, with no idea of the disaster awaiting them. The fog muffles all sound, masking the enemy's presence. Hannibal's cavalry moves to seal the rear, locking the Romans inside. The stage is set for annihilation. A trumpet blast shatters the silence, the ambush begins. Hannibal's troops erupt from the hills, crashing into the Roman column from all sides. The Romans, caught off guard, can't form ranks or defend themselves. Chaos reigns, soldiers fight blindly in the fog, attacked from front, flank, and rear. The rigid Roman command structure collapses. Orders are lost in the din. The column is sliced into segments, each surrounded and fighting desperately. Some Romans, trapped against the lake, drown trying to escape. For 3 hours the slaughter continues. Discipline and training mean nothing in the confusion. The Carthaginians, charging downhill, have every advantage. The fog amplifies terror and confusion, turning the lakeshore into a killing ground. Hannibal's trap works with brutal efficiency. In the chaos, Consul Flaminius tries to rally his men, but it's hopeless. He's singled out and killed by a Gallic warrior, shattering Roman morale. The central Roman force is annihilated. Bodies pile up on the narrow strip and in the lake. Only the vanguard, about 6,000 men, escapes the initial slaughter, unaware of the disaster behind them. When the fog lifts, they realize they're alone and surrounded. They surrender the next day. The toll is staggering. At least 15,000 Romans dead, another 15,000 captured. Rome loses an entire consular army and its commander in a single morning. Carthaginian losses are minimal. It's one of history's most devastating ambushes. A complete Roman disaster. Hannibal's victory is total. News of the disaster reaches Rome, plunging the city into panic and grief. Survivors trickle in, confirming the annihilation of an entire army and its consul. The Senate is thrown into crisis. The loss is unprecedented. The city mourns thousands of dead. Families crowd the gates, desperate for news. The aura of Roman invincibility is shattered. Fear grips the Republic. Hannibal is now a figure of terror, his name whispered in dread. The Senate abandons politics for unity, recognizing the existential threat. In desperation, Rome appoints a dictator, Quintus Fabius Maximus. His mission: save Rome from Hannibal. The defeat forces Rome to rethink its strategy. No more reckless charges. The Republic must adapt or perish. The trauma of Trasimene will shape Rome's response for years to come. Lake Trasimene is a testament to Hannibal's military genius. He wins not by numbers, but by intellect, choosing the battlefield, using terrain and weather as weapons. Hannibal's intelligence network and psychological insight let him predict and manipulate Roman behavior. His decoy campfires and silent night maneuvers show masterful deception. He commands a diverse army with flawless discipline, orchestrating a complex ambush. Each unit is placed for maximum impact. Veterans to block, Gauls to strike, cavalry to seal the trap. Hannibal exploits every Roman weakness: their rigid formations, their overconfidence, their lack of scouting. The fog becomes his ally, turning Roman order into chaos. Every detail is calibrated for destruction. At Trasimene, victory is achieved before a single sword is drawn. Lake Trasimene is more than a defeat. It transforms the Second Punic War. Hannibal, unable to besiege Rome, continues his campaign, but the shock lingers. Rome learns it cannot beat Hannibal on his terms. Fabius Maximus introduces the Fabian strategy: avoid battle, harass, and wear Hannibal down. This cautious approach, though unpopular, is born from Trasimene's trauma. Rome's aggressive nature soon resurfaces, leading to the even greater disaster at Cannae. Yet the lessons of Trasimene endure. Rome must adapt to survive. The war becomes a test of endurance, not just tactics. Trasimene exposes Roman weaknesses and forces innovation. The defeat galvanizes Roman resolve, setting them on the path to ultimate victory. The blood spilled at Trasimene becomes the foundation of Rome's resilience and future dominance.